BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Nu kör vi tjejer!
This is The Players.
Welcome to The Players.
I chest bumped Pino so hard her sunglasses fell off and broke.
Wow, I'm going a bit red now. My headphones are like, I'm sweating.
This is the podcast that hands the mic to some of the biggest names in the game.
That's everywhere on Instagram.
It is everywhere on Instagram.
I feel like you're just on this like emotional high.
I'm feeling it.
dropping the grass.
Haley and I are hanging on every word right now.
Keep going, please. Yeah, so I helped on the farm in lockdown.
Mic drop.
You're listening to The Players with Bex Smith.
So, this week on the pod, we have a really cool couple who you would also want to go for a drink with, probably. Incredible footballers, needless to say, both from Scandinavia. We have Magdalena Eriksson and Pernille Harder on the pod this week. Welcome, guys.
Hi. Hello.
Hey, tack for being here. And because you guys know each other better than anyone else on the planet, really, because it's your partner, why don't you guys introduce each other? Do you want to go first, Magda? Who is Pernille Harder?
Pernille Harder is, I'm going to do her on the pitch, off the pitch, because she is quite different.
Oh, interesting.
So on the pitch, I think, she is, first of all, an amazing football player. I believe she is definitely up there among the best in the world, and I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that. She is extremely talented and skillful in many ways, but also very, very hardworking, which I really appreciate. And she wants to be the best in everything she does. She wants to win everything that she takes on. She wants to win. Something I've definitely noticed playing together now on the same team is that she wants to be the best all the time. Off the pitch, she is very like a family person, very loving, very caring, very generous, but also quite like messy, unstructured. What can you say? A bit like goofy. She's not so serious. She's very relaxed and just fun to be around, I think.
No, that's really nice.
That's good.
And Pernille, who is Magdalena Eriksson?
Yeah, I would say Magda is also very different from who she is on the pitch and outside the pitch. Yeah, I think she's a great defender. And in this, I mean that she defends really good. She is physically and tactical really clever. And also, I think with her passes, something she has improved over the last 4 years where I haven't been playing with her in the same team. I think she has improved that a lot. So I would also say that is one of her forces, actually. Yeah, and the way she is she also wants to win. So maybe that's why we know each other so much. That we both want to win when we play something and we don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And Magda is also on the pitch. She can be, she's a leader, she talks a lot. If she's not happy with what you're doing, you will hear it, and I think that's good. She have demands.
High standards.
She has high standards, and also outside the pitch, she has also high standards. I would say.
Not so much.
No, outside the pitch, she's calm. She is really structured, so that's a good mix between us. She likes everything to be clean and nice, be on the right spot. But yeah, she's also a loving person. She takes care of her family, her friends, and her partner also. And she care about. She wants everyone to feel good, like also in the team. So yeah, she's a loving person.
Yeah, and you guys wear so many different hats. Yeah, is that nice? You guys wear so many different hats as well, don't you? I mean, like you're the Swedish player, you're the Denmark captain, you're the Chelsea captain, you're one of the best players in the world, UEFA Player of the Year multiple times, Pernille, and sometimes is it hard then to take off those caps and sort of be different in different environments? For example, you guys played against each other in Champions League, right? In the semifinals recently, even. I mean, you were at Wolfsburg still, but how was that playing against each other?
Yeah, we did, but we didn't have that many duels on the pitch. But of course, it's a special situation when we are playing against each other. But I think we both are like, when we are in the game, we just focus on the game, like winning it and performing good. So then we don't think about that we are playing against our partners. So
yeah, I think with the Champions League, the biggest thing was leading up to the game. It was very difficult to like awkward conversations. Like you can't really talk about what you've been doing in training or the tactics or anything like that. And then also the week in between the games, because it's a double header. It's also in between. It's also quite difficult. So I think the first time was probably the most difficult one. And since then we've played against each other a couple of times, and that's not been really the same. I think we are quite good at, like Pernille said, once we're on the pitch, we are just on the pitch and we don't really think about anything else.
You did actually mention one time when you guys played each other. I remember we were talking at one point, and I think, did Magda take you out or something?
Yeah, we also played against each other in Algarve Cup.
Yeah, that was very recent.
That was in
6 months ago.
Yeah, training game. Yeah, Magda took me out.
What did she do? What happened?
I think she saw that I could get the ball like on the middle of our half, and I could turn, but then Magda took the decision to go up and make a free kick instead of me turning and drive the ball, and it might be a good decision.
Yeah, it's one of those things as a centre back when you like stepped out of your line and you're thinking, okay, I either take the ball or I take the player. It's just one of those. It wasn't anything personal. I think I would have done it to anyone. It had to be done.
And then did you say anything after the game, or were you just kind of, neither of you said anything?
I think I mentioned it.
Yeah, you said I got a lårkaka.
Yeah.
A dead leg.
A dead leg.
Ooh, that's a dead leg, yeah. Ooh, and I think, isn't that the one that went on Twitter? Did I see that?
It's on Twitter.
It's the GIF.
It's the GIF. Someone made it into a GIF. So that's something that we're definitely going to get into today, being teammates and best friends and partners, but also rivals. So off the pitch as well, you said you're both competitive. How is that when you play board games, or you're just messing around?
Oh yeah,
we don't play board games. That's
no.
the thing.
The thing is,
stopped.
Yeah, Magda wanted to stop because you often lost.
Oh,
she loses more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it true?
No.
No.
But if we play, for example, play cards, I think that's just not a good idea.
Really?
I think we've learned that over the years that it's not. We did it in the beginning, but it's just the mood is not
ruined.
good. Yeah, the mood is ruined. And also, we tried to play tennis once in Sri Lanka, but I think we only had. I think we put the ball over 2 times, and then Pernille put it in one corner, and then I had to run to the other corner, and then she did it, and then I just threw the racket away and I left. It's like, no, I'm not doing this.
So is Pernille actually better than you at a lot of other things, or is it just that you guys just don't like competing against each other?
I think Pernille is very lucky in, for example, card games. She must be cheating in some way. I don't know how yet, but...
Yeah, I don't know if it's luck or what it is, but I often win in cards. But often card games is about luck.
Yeah.
So I can take that. If we play tennis or something like this, we are quite equal, I would say. So that's also why it gets so competitive, because not one of us is like much worse than the other one. It's like, so
do you play
it gets
other sports?
competitive.
We both play golf. So we do that quite a lot. And I think that's good, because in golf, you mostly compete with yourself. So I think that's something that we find like, okay, that is actually something we can do together. It doesn't get competitive like that.
Oh, I actually have one good story about when we played golf once in Sweden.
This is a long time.
Magda, she should play the ball up on the green, and in front of her there was a big lake. And the first ball went into the lake, the second one as well. And I was standing on the green and watching all this. And then I suddenly just see her taking the club. And then she hit it into her back. She destroyed the club and it went into the lake. And it was, so it's also about like manage the mentality.
So, but how do you guys deal with the different roles that you play? Because now obviously you are playing together in Chelsea, and is that something that you talked about beforehand? I mean, last time we chatted, you were still in Wolfsburg, Pernille. So did you guys actually have conversations about how it would be to be teammates, or was it sort of quite natural because you had been teammates before, right, in Sweden when you guys first started playing together?
Yeah, it becomes quite natural because that we have done it before. I think we kind of quite quickly came into that routine of being teammates when we're at the training ground and all of that. And then when we come home, we're partners, and then so just separating that professional life and the private life, I think it comes quite natural to us. And for me personally, I think it's just nice to have Pernille here, most like on the football pitch, because she's such an amazing football player and also has the same mentality that I do, that you want to be the best in everything you do, and that really drives the standards at the training ground. But then also to have that person to come home with and do other stuff with, I think we've both just been really happy that we've had each other, especially through this fall with COVID and everything going around. Like, it's been really nice to have someone to go through it with.
Yeah, definitely. And how were your journeys as footballers sort of different? Because you started out on the same team. What made you decide to move clubs? Pernille, I think you left first, right?
Yeah, I left, I think, half a year before Magda. I went to Wolfsburg, and yeah, for me, it was just about this next step. And at that time, I thought that Wolfsburg was a perfect step to take for me, one of the biggest club in Europe, and for me to show, and also for myself to show that I can do the same things in a big club as I did in Linköping. So that was why I went to Wolfsburg, and also to achieve and win titles. And you chose to stay 1.5 year?
Yeah. For me, I stayed in Linköping for 6 more months. And I think I kind of started feeling during those 6 months that I was ready for a new challenge. But there wasn't any good opportunities before. But then Chelsea came in contact with my agent and during the spring, and I really started getting interest in the club. I didn't know much about it before, but once I looked into it, and with Emma Hayes and with just the English league and all of that, it just felt like more and more like the perfect option for me. Because it was a step up, but it wasn't too much of a step for me. Getting minutes and getting playing time was like the biggest priority, because I was at that critical point of age where you really want to play. You don't want to be on the bench. For me, Chelsea ended up being the perfect option as well, and I think the journey that Chelsea's been on and is on at the moment is just very inspiring and very cool to be part of.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, the roster of talent that's at Chelsea is absolutely insane. I mean, with the Sam Kerrs and G, and I mean, there's so many good players. How was Wolfsburg for you, Pernille? Because I obviously played there. I started there in 2009. We were 9th place in the league out of 12. And in my journey, we went from 9th place to winning Champions League and titles. And it was a crazy journey. But how was it for you? Because you came obviously after a much more established club as one of, as you said, probably arguably the best club on the planet. How was it?
Yeah, it was a big step in quality from Linköping to Wolfsburg. I felt that right away on training. The intensity was much higher. But also everything around the team was more professional than what I was used to in Sweden. And yeah, just playing with a lot of good players also made my level higher, I think. I think the mentality in Germany is also something that actually fit me, that you have to work hard no matter where you're on the pitch. You have to make the runs home. Also this discipline, the German discipline, that's really... They give everything in training and in games, and I think that's a really positive thing to say about that mentality, and something I have learned a lot from. Also, that was the way I were before I came, but it made me want to give even more, and also to live up to the demands they have. They have high demands. That also developed me a lot during that time.
And how was it for you, Magda, when you went from Sweden to the UK mentality? Because both of you guys basically went to very different cultures, right? Like Pernille, you went to the German culture, and Magda, you went to the English culture. What was that like? Because you came from the same one, and then they're quite different. How was that? Did you find that you guys changed a bit?
Yeah, maybe.
Did it affect your relationship?
Yeah. No, because I think we've actually talked about this, that the English mentality and the German mentality are very, very different. They're almost opposite.
In what way? What do you mean?
I came into an environment where there was no fine system. There's an acceptance of sometimes you're late. It's not like it's the end of the world. And it's a very relaxed environment. And it's always a fine balance of, you don't want to be too relaxed. But I think we have a quite good balance in Chelsea, that it's very human. It's not too much of one or the other, which is something that I actually prefer. I think for me, it's like what you do on the pitch matters. So as long as you're 100% on it on the pitch. If you get stuck in traffic one day and you're a little bit late, I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think you should get £100 fine for that. So for me, it fits with my values, I think. But I think coming to Chelsea and to the English culture, it was definitely a lot louder than I was used to in Sweden. In Sweden, we are thinkers. I think we think before we talk. We are mindful of other people's feelings, and we want to be respectful and all of that. And I think English people are more, they talk before they think. They are very funny, like they make a lot of jokes, a lot of banter, and it's just a high ceiling. Like you can joke about a lot of things. If you get nutmegged in training, you're going to hear about it for the next week or so. I think it's been good for me to experience that, to be a bit more loose, a bit more relaxed, and just accept that people will make fun of you, and then you can make fun of them whenever that happens. So it's really cool to see different cultures and experience how different people can be. It's very interesting how it's such like you can really notice the difference. We have one German now, Melanie Leopolds, in our team, and she is very German, and it's just interesting to.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean very German?
No, she's in time.
Yeah.
She's structured.
She's not even on time. She's like always
before
15
time.
minutes before time.
And that's the way it is in Germany.
Yeah.
It's fun to come also from Germany to England, but
You're like, woohoo, freedom.
how the discipline fits me in Germany was on the pitch. Outside the pitch, it was expensive for me.
You mean because you got fined in Germany a lot?
I had to pay a lot of fines. That fits me a little bit better here in England.
What did you get most of your fines about?
It was often that my phone was ringing.
Magda.
Stupid times.
Yeah.
When I actually thought I had it on mute, yeah. But I didn't. And then if I forgot something, like, yeah, just small stupid things, but it was expensive fines.
Did Pernille change? Like when she went to Wolfsburg, did her personality sort of stiffen up?
No, I don't think so, actually. I think she's still the same person off the pitch. Like I said, she isn't maybe always the most organized person, and just funny, like goofy, like she does stupid things but funny things, and she's still that type of person.
Like what stupid things?
I don't know. She's just goofy. She just she likes to dance. She likes to just make jokes, just enjoy life, which is nice to see that she's kept that. But then maybe on the pitch, she's even more like with the winning, with the standards, demands on other people, more sure of like she can also put demands on players if she wants someone to step up. And I think that is only a good thing.
Yeah, because that's really interesting. Because Pernille, you're the captain of Denmark, and your partner is the captain of the team you now play for. How does that work?
It works good. Magda is... No, it works. I like it's good for me to just be in the national team. I have all my focus on that as a captain. But then also in Chelsea, I'm still the same. And Magda is not like a captain that's...
Dictator, yeah.
Like dictator. Dictator. She's inclusive. And that's good that other people also can take responsibility. It doesn't always just have to be the captain. It's easy.
Okay, so then when you did come to Chelsea, I mean, I heard it was one of the, or if not the biggest signing in women's football ever. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but did you hear that as well?
Yeah, the rumors say so.
Yeah, well, okay, cool. We're gonna leave that one there. But did you feel pressure? Because I mean, transfer fees is not something that like people talk about that much in football, really, with us, right? You end your contract and then you go to the next club, but this was something that people were talking about for quite a long time. Did that add any pressure, or Magda was like, just hurry up and get here?
Yeah. No, I mean, of course, it's always when you win titles, when you win individual awards, and when you get like a transfer fee like this, it always brings some kind of pressure, I think. But then it's the good thing that I have a lot of pressure on myself, and have a lot of demands on myself, and I also know that awards and this transfer is for something I have been doing. It's not because of something I'm going to do in the future. If I keep on doing what I'm doing, then I'm sure that Chelsea thinks it's that I'm worth it. But I would not say it doesn't bring some pressure with, but then it's all about how to handle it.
Well, it's been really fun watching you already. So you've been doing a fantastic job. But Magda, was this always planned that you were going to come over after Wolfsburg?
Not really. I think it was the rapid development of the English league and Chelsea as a team. I think since I came to Chelsea and where we are now, there's so much that have happened. I think the quality of our squad at the moment is the best it's ever been, and the quality of the league is the best it's ever been. And I think everything around it just fit perfectly. I think we both had planned that because we both were on contracts that were ending at the same time. We've always talked about that. Okay, after those, then we want to be together in some way. But we were both very open that it could be anywhere. And then I think England just started to look like the best option and a really exciting option because of all the superstars that have come to this league. I think with all the Americans and with Sam Kerr coming to Chelsea as well, I think it's just at the moment it's really the place you want to be. I think
I always take my decisions myself from what I think is best for my career. Of course, I can listen to advice, but like Magda said, I feel like Chelsea was really coming on a high level with the signings and the performance the seasons before, and then in the same time the English league really have developed a lot. So I thought that it was really attracted to go to the English league. Yeah, and then it happens to be Chelsea that also is really top team in England, and it's perfect when Magda is playing also.
Yeah, that is perfect, huh? How much feedback do you give to each other? How much do you want and how much do you give? Like, is it easy to give each other critical feedback? Or do you sometimes find like...
And I'm like this, and Magda is like this.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, who's going to answer that one first?
I think we like to talk about our mostly individual performance after game and like what we could do better and what we did good. And sometimes we don't need to talk about it because maybe we don't want to, but if we want to, I think, for me at least, I think Magda is a good partner to talk with about these things because I feel like she understands football really good. So when she gives me some critic, I listen to it because I know that she has some good thoughts.
What about you, Magda?
Yeah, and same to Pernille. I think for me, I'm always really hard on myself and really high demands on myself, and I think that's nice sometimes to actually talk to Pernille about it because she is like, Magda, you cannot take that much responsibility or you cannot take that on too much, and it's quite nice for me. It helps me to like get over mistakes quicker and get over games quicker because she's given me like, no, that's not good, but this you can work on. So I think she's good at helping me sort that balance off with not being too hard on myself.
Yeah. And has that changed now that you're playing together, or is it still the same?
No, for sure. I think it's been nice to play together because then it's quicker to get over games because you have someone to talk to about it. Before, if I had a bad game, it could take 2 days for me to get over it because I was just in my own head, constantly thinking about it. But now I have Pernille to talk about it with, and then she can give me what she thinks I'm right about and what she thinks I'm just making up in my own head.
So do you come home and you talk about it like at home, the games?
Yeah, if they're like not all the games, but if there's specific moments or specific things with your own performance that you think a lot about, we often talk about it.
Yeah, it's like when we were not in the same team. It's like normal partners would do, I guess. Maybe now we just have the fortune that we both play football and understand football. But I would always talk to my partner about if I was happy or disappointed with a game.
We also touched on it a bit earlier about being rivals and what's that like. And you guys also have played against each other in like tournaments though with your national team. I've played against some of my friends against, other national teams of friends of mine, especially from the US team. And I found that really strange, especially, shaking Christy Rampone's hand, like, when you're doing the coin toss and you're just like laughing kind of. But how was it to play against each other in the World Cup qualifiers?
Playing against each other wasn't the thing. I think the difficult thing was that one of us went to the World Cup and the other one didn't. So the outcome was more the difficult one, I think, because I really want Pernille to experience a World Cup and I want the World Cup to experience Pernille. Like, I think she deserves to play in a big tournament on the biggest stage, but this time it just didn't happen. So I'm really hoping they will qualify next time. But I think, the outcome was the difficult one. But the game in itself, like I said, we're quite used to it now. To just once we're playing the game, we switch off. It's just any other game. But it was tough that one of us was extremely happy and the other one extremely disappointed.
The reason why you guys didn't qualify was an interesting one as well, right, Pernille?
Yeah, we had our conflict with the federation. So we lost actually the first game against Sweden on the paper because we didn't show up. That was tough, something I wish we didn't have to do or had to do. But at that point, we just, women's football in Denmark just needed it to change the view of women's football in the federation. And the outcome from the conflict was, on the positive side, was that a lot of new people came into the federation. Some really good people, football people, who also valued women's football. And then obviously also the contract we got afterwards. But mostly, actually, I think it's the structure in the federation that changed to the much better. So, but of course, missing out the World Cup, it sucks to say it like this. And I really hope that we will be there for the next World Cup.
Yeah, because you guys obviously boycotted that game and it happened to be against Sweden. And then fast forward to the actual World Cup and I'm walking in one of the stadiums, I think it was Parc des Princes. And as you're walking past me, you're walking in a Sweden jersey and I'm going, I swear that's Pernille Harder, but she's wearing a Swedish jersey. What's going on? So how was that, putting on a Swedish jersey and supporting Magda during the tournament?
Yeah, I felt like there was nothing to do about that. We were not qualified anymore. So I just wanted to support Magda and in that way be a part of the World Cup, but this time as a fan. It was actually quite interesting to see everything from outside, how a tournament works and how it is from a fan perspective. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but of course it was also difficult to watch. It was not difficult to watch the Swedish games, but the other games I watched were a bit difficult because obviously I wanted to be on the pitch and not in the stands. But watching Sweden was fun, and I actually really enjoyed that, being a hooligan. No, not a hooligan, hooligan. You say in Denmark, that's the nice hooligan.
Okay. A hooligan? With an R, is it?
Rooligan.
A hooligan.
Rooligan, we say in Denmark.
Because when you're hoolig, it means you're calm.
But that was fun, actually.
And how was it for you, Magda, having Pernille there? Were you just 100% focused on the games and the success of Sweden, or was there a part of you that was still sort of wishing that Pernille could experience it as a player as well?
No, I don't think that was not so much on my mind at the moment. I think I was really just happy that she was there. I was really, really happy that she was there to support me because we have had a lot of free time, so I could actually spend a lot of time together with her and see her. And she was really like Sweden's biggest supporter, following us through the whole country of France, which I thought was so cute and so nice that she wanted to take her vacation and spend it supporting me. And it was really helpful for me also, like we discussed earlier, about talking about games, offloading your emotions to her and maybe not to the teammates, because maybe that wasn't beneficial for the team. So I really had her she watched all the games. She was there, so she could really like help me with that. And yeah, for me that was a massive thing and a big reason I think why I could perform in every single game as well.
And then, you know, you were wearing your Swedish jersey, and after one of the games, something happened, and something went viral. Well, what was that all about?
What was that?
What was that whole thing about?
Yeah, the famous Paris kiss.
Yeah, exactly. Kiss
Oh,
in
true. It was a
Paris.
Parisian kiss, even more romantic.
It was just a quick kiss. Yeah, after a game, like we've done after every game, I think. And this time it was caught on camera, and one thing led to the other. And then I woke up the next day after the game, and it was just exploded. We don't really understand the big deal with it, but of course it is a big deal, and it's cool that it got so much positive attention as well from all around the world.
Yeah, I mean, in Denmark, the negative thing was that I had a Swedish shirt on. that was not so welcome. Yeah, but
The betrayal.
yeah. Otherwise, it was a lot of positive messages. So that was quite incredible to see. I think that maybe 80% of the messages we got from that picture was just positive, that how much some people needed that. And I mean, it's just a picture, but for some people, it was more than just a picture.
Why do you think that is?
I just think it's good, what can I say, like relief for some people to see two women kiss each other. And then also that we both are professional football players, and of course, there are some places in the world where it's not accepted to be homosexual, and that we go in front and like we don't care kind of what people think and what people think are right or wrong, but we show what we think is right. And as more people who can show that, it makes it easier for the people who is in a position where they can't really be themselves.
Why do you think you guys are in a position where you can be yourselves and you don't really care?
I think we're both from very like liberal countries to start with, and liberal families and backgrounds, and that has just made it easier. I think neither me or Pernille had an objective to becoming like gay role models or anything. I think we just were quite open from the start when we started seeing each other, and then from then on we've both had successful careers, and we both become role models and more well-known names. So it just kind of happened. But I think it has been important for us not to hide anything and just to be ourselves and to show people that is how it should be. That's how we want the world to be. We want people to be able to be themselves, and that's how we want to be as well then.
Have you guys felt though like any pressure to be like LGBTQ role models, and has there been like too much focus on that, and you know, has it shifted? You're both smiling. Yeah. How is it? Has it affected you in other ways, or are you just sort of, is it all positive?
I don't feel any pressure to speak up about it. I think we both want to, because we both have the passion to make the world a better place, to say it like this. Like, it's not like we have to talk about it or when people ask us, but we choose ourselves to do it and don't feel any pressure to do it. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I think it's about finding the balance of the private life, of course, but I think we are quite relaxed people, and of course we don't share everything, but it is nice to just show people who we are and that it is okay to be yourself. And I think if that means becoming an LGBTQ plus role model, then that's what it is, and we are happy to do that.
Why do you think though, like, I've often thought about that, especially here moving to the UK, that there aren't any out gay male footballers? And I really wonder, you know, what is it about the difference between, you know, you guys having a supportive family, but also just the women's game that feels like in a lot of areas, it's not really a big deal. Why do you think it is that, you know, male footballers seem to have a harder time to come out? Because I can't imagine that there's no gay male footballers out there.
No, I think it's for sure the culture and the history of the sport that has just grown into this macho culture, very rigid culture that doesn't really want to change. I think football has taken a lot of responsibility in the fight against racism and discrimination, and the LGBTQ question is starting to get talked about and raised, but it's only in the beginning. So I think we are moving towards a more open and more diverse football. But it is in every system trying to change something that's so rigid, that's been the same for 80 years. I think it takes time and it is difficult. But I do think that it has to be in the interest of everyone working towards finding a more open and diverse football culture, a welcoming football culture for someone to be brave enough to do it. Because at the moment, I don't think it's safe enough for anyone to do it, because they know that they what implication that might have on their families or themselves from perhaps fans. So I think the objective should be towards creating a safe environment for someone and not put too much pressure on the individual.
How did you guys keep in touch, like when you weren't playing on the same team? Because you spent quite a lot of time apart, didn't you? How many years was it that you played on separate teams?
3.5 years.
Yeah, 3.5 years with the long distance. Of course, FaceTime was the biggest thing for us. It helped us a lot, and it's not you can't compare it to being with each other for real, but at least it's a very good option. So I think, it definitely helped us a lot.
We always had it on in the evening, and then we ate together. We were watching movies together. It felt a little bit like when we just wanted to have a FaceTime. Now we FaceTime and then we sit and look at each other. And then, but when we have it on the whole night, it's like it just more feels. Yeah, it's more relaxed. Feels like we're together, and then natural.
And do you guys cook together? Who's the cook?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to cook together. But I think
Magda
I'm
is the
mostly the master chef.
Yeah,
she's the assistant.
yeah. I can easily take that job also.
Yeah.
It's fine for me to be the assistant in the kitchen and listen to what I have to do. It's easy for me. If I'm the master chef, I will just ask Magda all the time what I have to do. So we know our roles. I know my role.
Did you move into Magda's apartment, or did you buy a new place together, or move in together? How did that work?
Yeah, I just moved into Magda's apartment, and it made everything pretty easy also in the move, that I didn't have to find an apartment and didn't have to move all our stuff, and I also already felt at home here in this apartment. So that's always something when you come to a new club and a new country, that part of it was very easy because I felt home like right away.
Did you already have like your drawer and stuff? Because I mean, I had distance relationships too, and I always had like a drawer, and that drawer just kept getting like bigger and bigger. Did you already have like a pretty big space in Magda's apartment?
There is not a lot of space. Before, I think now she is in every drawer. But no, she wasn't. No, not really. I think maybe a couple of stuff, but not so much.
What would be your dream Christmas that you could actually have? Would you go back to Sweden together? Would you go to Denmark together? Would you stay in London together? Would you go to Sri Lanka together? What would your absolute dream Christmas be?
I think I really like to be with my family, and Magda obviously also with her family, but I also, but if it's separate, obviously I would go to my family now, and then the perfect Christmas would be that it's snowing.
Nice.
And yeah, just having a good time with the family, eating good food, good Christmas food. And now I have 2 nephews, so I think it will be a lot of joy to see them get a lot of presents and see them in the Christmas time. Yeah.
And Magda, what would your sort of ideal Christmas be?
I'm not like the biggest Christmas fan. I don't need to have the traditional Christmas. I love to spend time with my family.
Okay, we'll just call you Scrooge now.
No. No, we often, my like best childhood memories of Christmas is traveling. So we often travel to Thailand over Christmas with my family.
Nice.
So for me at the moment, also with the lack of traveling that's been able to do, I would want to take all my family and maybe rent a house somewhere, maybe in Thailand or Vietnam or Cambodia or someplace, and just spend it there with them. And Pernille can join if she wants to.
No, I want the traditional Christmas, so that will be something we have to talk about.
Okay, things to talk about after the podcast. What do you guys want from the future? What are your goals for, let's say, football?
When I think of a goal, you just go straight towards winning the Champions League. I think for both of us, that is just a massive milestone that we both want to achieve. It's very big, it's very difficult, we know that, but I think it's also very realistic at the moment that we can. I think we believe in the team we have at Chelsea. I think we have all the possibilities to do it. So that is a big goal, but I think it's also not good to only have goals of winning titles. I think it's good to have more of the process as well, and then I think it's just keep developing as for myself, a leader, a person, and a football player, and just having that drive all the time to just wanting to get better and better.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it's also the Champions League title, but then also winning the English League. Now coming here to England, that's obviously also a big goal for me. And then the same, that what motivates me every day is to go to training, to be better, to get better. So I think that's a big goal in itself.
What about privately? What do you guys want to do? Do you want to start a family? Is it something you've thought about, thinking about marriage? Would you get married? Is it something that you've thought about, talked about? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot now. But think about it.
No, we take just one day at a time.
Yeah.
That's it, actually.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you feel like, you could have a family while you're playing, or is it something that you think is not really feasible right now in terms of you guys or female footballers in general? Do you think it's really hard?
I think for us, we are not ready to get a family. But obviously in the future, yes, but not at the moment.
No, I think we're both at the highs of our careers, and at the moment we are so focused on the football that it's not part of the plans at the moment. But obviously, just recently the news about the FIFA rules with the pregnancy leave and all of that, I think is a massive step forward in the right direction. So hopefully that will come into place, and they will just make it a lot easier. And it's about time that something like that has come into place, for sure. So I think looking from the bigger perspective, that is a really good thing, and it will come in handy for us once we do start thinking about it more for real to start a family. So I'm really happy about those news.
Just in terms of, you guys and leaving a legacy in the sport, do you feel like you together can leave a stronger legacy, or is it that you want to have your own individual legacies that you want to stamp on the game? Is there something that, when you do finish or when you look ahead, what do you want sort of your legacy to be?
On the pitch, obviously it's individual, but now we play in the same team, so some part of it will be mutual. But I think off the pitch, I think we maybe leave a legacy where we also are together. Yeah,
being role models and fighting for good causes and standing up for what we believe in. I think that is something that I would like to be known as and remembered as, someone who spoke her mind whenever she felt like it was needed. And on the pitch, I agree. I think then it will be more separate, and just I think the most important thing is just the legacy of being a good person with good values and with integrity.
I couldn't agree more. Well, you guys have been an absolute pleasure to hang out with. And thank you genuinely so much for sharing about yourselves and with us and to the world. And I hope and I wish that there are lots and lots and lots of more wow moments in your future. And good luck with your season and your national teams.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tack så mycket.
Tack så mycket.
This is The Players.
Next week, we hear from two Scottish internationals, Birmingham City's Rachel Corsie and Chelsea FC's Aaron Cuthbert.
You know what? I've never tried haggis. That's so bad of me. I've never.
But you've tried a deep fried Mars bar?
When I was younger, coming back for a Saturday game, wee tournament, used to play it. Just go home, get a chippy, deep fried Mars bar. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
The Players has been brought to you by BBC Sport and Copa 90. And don't forget to subscribe via the BBC Sounds app or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Somebody was even wearing a t-shirt with your face on it, and I couldn't eat.
You couldn't eat?
Hi, Louis Theroux here. I've spent my whole working life trying to find people with interesting stories. It's taken me from high-security jails to South African hunting grounds to Las Vegas casinos. But there are still loads of people I've always wanted to talk to, so I've tracked a few of them down for a second series of my podcast, Grounded with Louis Theroux. I'll chat to Sia, Rylan, Michaela Cole, and more, peeling back the layers to find out who they really are.
I just became a little bit obsessed with it.
Grounded with Louis Theroux. Subscribe on BBC Sounds.